guys. Welcome to the Weight of Her Name podcast. I'm your host, Deanna. And today I'm going to be starting a podcast slash community slash space for those of us that's dealing with infant loss and grieving, and also bringing awareness to Pprom, which stands for premature rupture of membranes. In English, bringing awareness to premature rupture of waters. Um, I gotta hear my phone just so that I can stay on topic because sometimes I like to stray. But uh, that's neither here or there. I just wanted to introduce myself and let you guys know who I am, tell you my story, and let you know what I'm here to do. So, like I said, welcome. I'm Deanna. I am one of the mamas to Atticus Rain, my beautiful angel baby. She was born on October 1st, 2024. And what a perfect day for such a beautiful, perfect little baby. Um, and for it to be the start of infant awareness month and or infant loss awareness month, I couldn't be a more proud mama of her. um so my story is me and my wife, we went through IVF, and we were able to retrieve 14 embryos in total, Atticus being one of them. We implanted Atticus. I was able to carry her for 19 weeks and 6 days. Um, Now, it wasn't the perfect pregnancy. It wasn't the most easiest pregnancy. I dealt with HG. I dealt with gestational diabetes, so trying to keep my morning insulin under control. I have PCOS, so that can cause insulin resistance. And even though I didn't deal with diabetic issues beforehand, I did have to deal with them during pregnancy. So it wasn't the most easiest pregnancy. It wasn't the most hard, but it wasn't the most easiest. I got to have my baby girl for 19 weeks, 6 days. I got to feel her kick a lot. Her mommy got to feel her kick, one big kick, right before my water broke the next day. Um, so I woke up that morning. I went to the bathroom to do my morning sickness thing as always, and as I am going to cough slash vomit, um, all of a sudden I felt a big gush. My membranes slash waters had broke completely, and I lost all of my fluid. I had a doctor's appointment that day, so literally just an hour or two right before that happened. So I went to my doctor's office. They gave me an ultrasound. They told me that my water had broke completely and I had no fluid. They urged me to possibly terminate the pregnancy because of what could happen to me if I continued on with the pregnancy. But I decided that I wanted to keep my pregnancy. Atticus was definitely well wanted. We went through IVF. This was something that we tried for years. A lot of people probably don't know, but I tried to get pregnant for years and years. I mean, we spent thousands and thousands of dollars trying to get my body pregnant, and eventually we met our fertility doctors, who then were able to actually make that happen. But yes, however, unfortunately, we ended up losing her at almost 20 weeks. Um, so my water broke at 19 weeks. I was able to carry her for another 6 days without complications. I was able to go to my anatomy scan and see her, and they confirmed that I had no fluids around her at all, and that my body could go into labor within 2 weeks of my water breaking. Um, so I went and visited maternal fetal medicine where I had my anatomy scan and they confirmed all of that. They did that on September 30th and or no, on September 29th. And then on September 30th, no, I lied. It was September 30th. I went and seen the maternal fetal medicine on September 30th. And then I went into active labor on October 1st. My wife was at work, and when she got off, she came to get me. We went to the hospital. And because I was literally hours from being 20 weeks, I was passed from the ER on to the women's labor and delivery unit. So when I went up there, they confirmed that I was having contractions. And then I was moved to my next spot where we then were coming to terms and grips with what our next options were, which were to continue through labor and give birth or try to hold on while being septic. So, yes, I said septic. At 19.6, they then diagnosed me with sepsis through my blood cultures and blood work. And they were able to see that, yes, I definitely did have an infection. So at that point, I had to continue on through labor. And so I did. And at 10:40, I gave birth to our beautiful angel Atticus. And I got to see her for a little bit that night before I was rushed to the OR to basically have a DNC where they had to remove the placenta, of course, because it was not detached. And I had a DNC, and the next morning I woke up. I got to spend at least the next day to 2 days with Atticus. Got to hold her, got to kiss her, got to tell her I love her. I got the chaplain to come and bless her and pray for us and everything like that. So it wasn't easy, but on the other hand, I am here with this experience to share with other people so that they know that they are not alone in these endeavors, because when I first started going through this, I felt completely alone. Even with my wife, I still felt completely alone. And it's a feeling that you can't shake. You always feel like you're grieving alone. Because this was a little human that's attached to the inside of your body that you're bonding with from day one, especially if you're going through IVF. This is something, you are in it from start to finish. This isn't like, you find out 6 weeks later. Not that that's a problem, but it's not like, you're finding out weeks later. You're with it from the very first day that they put your embryo inside you and, through the rest of your pregnancy. So, but it doesn't matter how early or how late you have a child and you lose your child. Infant loss is infant loss. And that's why I'm here, so that I can create a space in a community for those of us who sometimes just feel alone or need a space to go just to hear some words of encouragement, or just to go to hear, I'm not in this by myself. Somebody else has gone through this. Maybe somebody else's words can help me get through whatever part of the grieving stages I'm at, right? So that's the whole point of this, and that is my story. And like I said, the reason this whole podcast is coming to fruition is because I want to create that space, create that community, be able to bond with other parents that are going through this. And as you know, I am saying parents because this is not just a mom thing. This is a father thing. This is a grandparents thing. This is a siblings thing. A lot of times people forget the siblings. yes, the siblings also grieve the sibling that they never even got to meet. Um, and so on and so forth. Even when, you go on to have even more children after your first loss, or it could be, third loss, you never know. Everybody has a story, and it should be told. Every child has a beginning, and it that beginning deserves to be told, shared, embraced, and just loved. It doesn't matter how old, how small, how it doesn't matter. This is a space for infant loss, from the very first day to the very last day. I don't care at what stage you're at. This is a space for you. This is a space for me. I still learn every day how to deal, how to cope, and just even knowing that there are other people out there has definitely been a huge help. Knowing that there are people out there that wants to share their stories, that wants to hear other stories. This space is for us. So if at any point you feel like you would like to share your story, go ahead, drop it in the comments below. I actually have a form that you can fill out and submit. That way that I could hopefully be able to share your story here on the podcast. So make sure you check the description box for the link to get to the Dropbox to get that form. And if you're not able to get the form there, you can always reach out to me and I'll try to get you that form. My whole goal is to be able to connect with a lot of you one-on-one, and not even just one-on-one, groups of us, Maybe, you never know, you could meet somebody in the same city as you, same state as you, and you guys become close friends. This is what this is for, to bring us together as a community, to bring awareness to infant loss, to bring awareness to the mortality rate here in our country, and to bring just awareness to the rupture of membranes, because it's not something that you think about until it happens to you. And I just want to be able to create that space for that purpose. What infancy loss means to me is basically, it doesn't matter from start to finish, the loss. It doesn't matter if you're 3 days in. It doesn't matter if you're a year in. To lose a baby, to lose a child, either way, it's a loss. That is what infancy loss is, and that is what this space is for, so that we can talk on that, so that we can grieve together, so that we can create this space and community of us that just needs a little bit more understanding, just a shoulder to lean on, and to just not feel so alone. Here, I'm going to give you the promise of honesty, the promise of softness, the promise of rawness. It ain't always going to be pretty. We not always going to have smiles on our face. Yes, we might smile, but we still cry. That is what this is for. This will be honest. It will be true. It will be almost even unedited. I want every single part of this to be with us in its whole form, because grieving isn't pretty. Infant loss isn't pretty. Pregnancy complications isn't pretty. But it's what we deal with. And there are other people out there that can help share what they've been through, and things that they've tried, things that we can possibly pick up on to maybe help with the next one, or to maybe just even help our neighbor. So that is what this is. So if you are ready for some raw realness, honesty about infant loss, about grieving, about Pprom awareness, this space is for you. You don't even have to ever have had a child. Maybe you're just a grandparent. Maybe you're just a friend, the sibling, the uncle, the aunt. You never know. Maybe this is you and you just want some extra information on how can I help my sister? How can I help my brother? How can I be there for them while they're grieving? This is that space for us. And we're going to keep it raw. We're going to keep it real. We're going to keep it soft, but we're going to keep it raw and real. Okay? I want you guys to be able to come here every week and hear something different that's going to help you through your process, that's going to help others through their process. I want you to bring in your family and friends to come experience this space with us. Like I said, because it's not just for those of us that's going through infant loss. It's for those of us who wants to learn about infant loss, who wants to just learn in general about the things that people have to go through during pregnancy and during the grieving process of losing that pregnancy or losing that child later on down the line, if that happens and if that is your story. This isn't the end of your story. This is just a chapter in your story. So, every week, every Thursday, 7:30 p.m., I want you to be right here. Have those notifications on so that you know when the next video is coming. This is going to be a 12-part series. So, hopefully we can make it past 12 parts. But right now, this is going to be a 12-part series just to, put a foot in the door to hopefully get some feedback. So always make sure to leave your comments, likes, definitely subscribe because that's going to get us out there. This isn't about me. This is about our babies. This is about the things that's going on that nobody talks about. That won't be me. Atticus gave me a purpose, and that was to make sure that other people knew that we could create a community to set limits beyond the stars of the knowledge that people have when it comes to infant loss. So like I said, make sure you comment, like, subscribe. And this is for our babies. Just remember, grief has no finish line. And now, join me in a moment of silence for our sweet angels like Atticus. I love you, sweet girl. Until the next episode, where we will be talking about and getting in more depth of our infant loss and grieving process. Okay? Be here or be square. Get those notifications on. And like I said, make sure you guys comment so that I can either, one, reach out to you to get you that form, or you get that form so that I can get more submissions and more stories in, because I would love to talk about all of your babies, not just my beautiful girl. Until next time, guys.